Now, children, tonight old Uncle Tom going to tell you the real true story.
The director of the CIA was in Los Angeles today trying to put down reports that the CIA in the past connived to spread crack cocaine in America's inner cities.
Facing life in prison, LA's biggest crack dealer now is saying he was a pawn in a CIA plot. And his argument was convincing enough that a federal judge postponed sentencing to consider evidence that his main supplier was an agency operative.
A small drug empire run by Freeway Rick Ross with roots in L.A., spreading to Louisiana, Ohio, and Texas.
Me and Ricky Ross is waiting to get sentenced Tuesday. And she got, what a judge going to say to us come Tuesday? You wrote a letter saying there's no involvement. Now you're up here saying, hey, where else to go to?
You know, his whole intentions was for me to make more money. The more money I made, the more money he made, and I guess the more money that he would have to help sponsor the war.
His own admission, Freeway Rick, on a good day, pulled in $2 or $3 million.
Yeah, the money was good back then.
Lord, who became a multi-millionaire urban legend in Los Angeles. A rap star even stole his name and parlayed it into a music career. But the real Freeway Ricky Ross ended up spending 20 years in prison.
That whole just say no movement, one of the reasons that was even in existence is because of the man we are about to introduce right now. I mean, he's basically, he was the wholesaler of wholesalers when it came to crack cocaine in the 80s. If you touched crack cocaine in Los Angeles and many other parts of the country in the early to mid 80s, there's a very, very high chance this man had something to do with it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Freeway Rick Ross. Come on through, my friend. Come on through. It is a pleasure. Have a seat. Have a seat. Good to see you, man. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead and grab your headphones. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, glad to be here. Glad to be here.
God, I just want to kind of start from the beginning, man. How did you?
Yeah. Let's go. He's ready.
Because I know.
So what you got for me, Foo?
Yeah, because I know everything about this dude, man. Just growing up in LA, it's kind of like he's a legend. We grew up, fucking idolizing. I hate this, I don't want to, but we grew up idolizing.
And it's
people.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is, right?
It is
I mean,
crazy to.
So much so that there's a dude out there making millions of dollars off your name. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's so crazy to where how far your name has made it, man.
Yeah. When I first started, I never would have thought that it would have grown into what it grew into.
Really?
It's not something that I had sit down and planned or mapped out. It wasn't like that. It was like, I'm just going to make a couple bucks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get myself,
get a nice little
get
car,
myself
maybe.
out of this position that I'm in, give myself a boost, and then it just like exploded, man, into something that that you wouldn't even dream about in your wildest nightmares. You're talking about a kid that when I was a kid, I went to school with holes in my shoes and no lunch money. I had to sneak on the RTD bus.
Damn, the RTD. I remember the RTD, man.
I remember the RTD
LA shit right there.
I used to have to sneak on the bus, man, because I didn't have bus fare to get home from school. You know, after a long day of playing tennis in school.
Yeah.
And I'll be like,
because you were a tennis prodigy, right? I mean,
I was trying to be a tennis pro.
Okay.
Wow.
I was kind of molding myself after Arthur Ashe.
Oh, okay. And why tennis? Like, is that just what you were good at, or you just like?
Well, I wanted to play football. I mean, in the ghetto, there's only a few ways that we feel that we can get out.
Basketball, football, rap, or whatever the case may be. Yeah.
When I was in the 9th grade of high school, I've been playing tennis a couple years, but none of the high school coaches looked at me in football for football, basketball.
Okay.
And they came down and they were picking guys who they wanted on their teams. I didn't get picked.
Oh yeah.
Because I was a little guy.
Right.
So you said, "Fuck you, I'll show you." Tennis, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it started with the tennis, and and then when tennis didn't pan out, it was cocaine.
And how did that come about? Who introduced you to? Who gave you your first bag? Like, what? How did that go about?
One of my big homies.
Okay.
His name was Michael McLaurin. He went to Fremont High School. He was a couple years older than I was, and he got a scholarship in football and went off to college. And when he came back with this white powder, man.
Okay.
He said, "Fuck college. This is where the money's at.
Yeah. He didn't want to play football no more. He's like, man,
that shit's too much work. Training and shit.
Getting hit on and knocked around.
Yeah. This is much easier. And I mean, but back then it was kind of seen as cocaine was more of a like a rich man, white man drug. You know what I mean? So
very, very exclusive. You know, when I talk to some of the young kids now, they can't believe the prices that
it used to be back then. What was the price, like average gram of coke back then?
$350, $375 per gram.
Shit, that's
She's got me about
80s
a 20
money.
bag of weed.
That's 80s money. What would that be today?
That would probably be double or maybe even
double,
triple. Maybe even triple. But it's reversed, I believe. I
mean, the value's gone down, but I'm talking about like the worth, you know? $350
back
in
then,
the 80s.
Yeah, probably right now would be worth like $1,200.
God. So I'm curious because earlier you said that that basically you started doing this just to get by, just to make a living, so to speak.
Yeah.
What was the turning point? Where did you see this explode, or was it just a gradual process?
It was a gradual process. You know, when I first started, I figured I could make $5,000 and I could be good for the rest of my life. Me and my partner, I had a partner that started with me, so we was like, oh, we make $5,000, we set for life. We never had to do nothing else.
And what was this, $5,000 a month?
No,
just 5,000 total.
Total.
Yeah, because back then they're just like, 5,000 is a good little chunk.
I mean, you're talking about a guy that didn't have $50 in his pocket.
Yeah, and 5,000 back then.
Yeah. So I never saw 5,000. I don't know if I'd ever saw 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you talk about 5,000. I'm like, ooh, 5,000, I can buy a house.
That's a nice. Yeah. Exactly.
So it was just like crazy, and then we made 5, and then I said, well, we making like $300 every day. Let's make 20.
Damn, dude.
$300. I want to make $300 a day now. Wow.
That's how it started, and it just kept, roller coasting. And
was it crack at this time, or was it
both?
Oh,
both.
Okay. Because this was what year are we talking about?
81-ish.
Okay. Because crack hit about I remember, I'm kind of a little bit older, but I remember L.A. hitting crack about 83, 84. So that's probably when it hit the news, but it's already been.
Yeah, it had been there.
Okay.
It was there even before I started.
Okay.
But at that time they were doing what they call ether basing.
Oh, freebase or whatever, right? Is that freebase?
Well,
something like that.
Crack, because we didn't call it crack.
Okay.
We used to call it ready rock.
Okay.
Rock cocaine. They used to what they call ether base, and it was so many chemicals to make it that somebody figured out that you could just do it with baking soda, and it was much faster. So it just flipped.
Oh, okay.
From there, and then at one
Probably
time,
cheaper too, huh? Or about the same?
Not really cheaper, but just in the time, because freebasers are like, they want it right now.
Okay.
And it was a mentality of the people that were doing it, because all the people who were doing it was wealthy.
Okay.
And you know how wealthy people are. And
give it to me now.
Yeah. Right now. Rick James, give it to me right now, baby.
Fuck your couch. Yep.
So go ahead.
So that's pretty much how it kicked off, and it just like kept snowballing, kept getting bigger and bigger and faster and bigger and faster and better and
now, were you working towards making it that big, or it was, like you said, just something that came almost like fell in your lap?
After I got started and I saw what I was doing, I was trying to make it big.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah.
You said
Smart
fuck
man.
5,000.
Smart man.
Oh no. I started pooling all my money back into the drugs.
Oh. You invested.
Yeah,
he invested wisely.
I found out
Smart man.
Compound interest.
There you go.
We're gonna have to talk after this.
Now I want to bring this up because this is very important. You were illiterate all through high school, correct?
Yeah, totally.
So for a man to accomplish all of this and not even be able to, read what people were putting in front of him, how did you even make it to $5,000? How did you even make it to $20,000? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I couldn't read, but I could count real well.
There you go. Yeah.
Whole different skill set.
You lose an eye, man. My ear sight is better, right?
And what I found out is that people what do they have? What is it called? The word I'm looking for? They like compensate.
Yeah.
For weaknesses.
Oh yeah,
like
that's, yeah, exactly.
Overcompensate.
Right.
So what I found out about myself is that I read people really well.
Okay.
You know, I was really good at reading people and figuring people out, and that became like one of my access.
That makes a lot of sense.
I was going to say that
being
has
able
to
to
be absolutely pivotal in that industry, because it's horrible. I must imagine that you're always having to watch your back. Like, who can you trust?
Always.
Who can you not?
You can't trust really anybody.
Man.
Damn.
Because there's a thing that we say when I was in jail is that today's drug partner is tomorrow's snitch.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to you, essentially, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And on several times.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Damn,
Several
dude.
times.
So to kind of get back to the beginning of everything, did you just buy? When did you get your first car? Like your first Benz? Like
I never
fast?
bought.
You know what I mean? Like how fast?
I never bought a Benz for myself.
Okay.
I never. I bought a few new cars, but it wasn't like, just like playing cars.
Because like when did you feel it? Like I'm balling out of control. Like I'm balling.
I knew. The first thing I bought was a motel.
Okay. See, smart. Yeah.
So I knew when I bought the motel that I was wealthy.
Okay. Now let me ask you: were you planning on eventually? Because it seems like you were putting money in legitimate businesses. Did you have plans on leaving the dope game and just hopefully focus on?
I kind of like.